All right, and happy Friday to you. It is Russell and Hunter's the Brewmance Friday Nooner. Thanks for hanging out. Look who I got back. Look who I got back right here. Look at. I got him back. That's right, from NYC. We'll get to that in just a moment. Thanks for hanging out with us. And while we're just spouting about today, go ahead and share this out. Go ahead and share this out. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Share that as well, and let your peeps know that hey, these two kind of got it going on. So let's jump into the big news of the week. Mr. Hur was on the hot seat in front of Congress, and couple things I want to point out here. This is the man that was tasked to look into Joe Biden's handling of classified documents in not 1, 2, 3, not 4, but 5 different locations, including broken boxes in his garage. He came out with basically saying, yeah, Mr. Biden did break the law, but he's too incompetent to stand trial. But he's still the president of the United States. So you know what this was. They drag her in front of Congress, and of course it is the Republicans saying, tell us he's senile. The Democrats saying, you exonerated him from all charges, and it was just you kind of heard the clown music in the background. So.
And I don't know how much more evidence that we need that we really don't have a full-time president in the United States, because I'm beyond the outrage about it now, because I know what's happening. I think everyone knows what's happening. The real crazy part to me is at least 40% of the country just doesn't care. Doesn't care that the president is in this condition. Because at the end of all of this, I still love America. And I would rather have, if a Democrat is going to be president, I would rather have someone that is not at this age and in this condition, because you see what's happening all over the world, too, in all these tension spots and all these wars. There's actual consequences to having a part-time president of the United States. And that should be enough to make us go, all right, we give a Democrat a shot, but not Joe Biden. But this is the realization, another lesson for us, Mike, in how the party systems have really crushed us and our ability to make changes in this country. And we're just going to at least, okay, yeah, it's cool. Just accept this fate. So Robert Hur was a special counsel that was put in charge of this case. So it comes right back full circle that, Biden is just not a good president.
And everybody would know that. They see it, and it's as plain as day. Even in the softball MSNBC interviews that he's getting, it's absolutely absurd. The softball questions that have already been pre-scripted and teleprompted, and he can actually look like he's answering questions, but you take him off the cuff. Is that noise? Well, what I was disappointed in, and Rob knows this, is that I've always been a fan of these congressional hearings. Like, I had a congressional hearing fantasy team. Yeah,
he's actually not lying.
I had a whole lineup of those that I would want on my crew. And Trey Gowdy was one. Trey Gowdy was one of the OG, like, come at you. He's an attorney mind. He was coming at you like that. So, definitely. And by the way, he is a vampire. That's right. If you watch any of the Twilight films, pretty sure he was the dad of the whole group. Anyway. So the but Trey Gowdy and
wait, you watched the Twilight films?
What's that?
Did you watch any of the Twilight films?
I did.
Really?
I'm a vampire guy. I love vampire stories, but this was not. Vampires do not glitter. They do not glow in sunlight. Sorry, this is not how it works. But they lost me there.
So I saw the second one only because my wife watched them. She read the books, and Lady Brewmance was like, "Would you go?" I'm like, "I'll go with you, sure." And I remember sitting there in the movie theater. I'm like. It's like a 2-hour and something movie. And I'm like, what happened? I don't know that anything actually happened in this movie.
Yeah.
It was not a good decision by me.
I did see in a minute and 30-second vignette, the movie Up taught us more about love than all of the Twilight movies. Yes. Anyway, so Trey, I used to be all about this. Now Matt Gaetz is kind of taking over that role. He's kind of solid. He's buttoned up when he's questioning people. He's got some good attorney skills. But it's so sad. I watched about 15 minutes of it, and one of the Democrats started in with this gem. Your findings exonerated President Biden of all wrongdoing. So and then he cuts her off. And he cuts her off. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Congresswoman. I actually have to interrupt you there and tell you that I've exonerated President Biden of anything. As a matter of fact, reclaiming my time. You exonerated him. You exonerated him of all wrongdoings. Reclaiming my time.
My time. Script. I have to say this. My staff wrote this for me. I have to say it.
Just I'm done. I mean, it's not even fun anymore. It really isn't, because it used to be a nice game of chess, especially with Comey. Comey used to be a heck of a witness. Comey was a star. I mean, if I had to on the fantasy team, like he was an attorney's attorney. The guy was like all in. So, but it's not anymore, because they don't even get a chance to answer. It's all gotcha questions and a bunch of nonsense feeding into who the hell did we elect? Yeah.
Well, and I just keep coming back to this, Mike, because part of the reason why, from my end, I don't do what we used to do is because it was so hard for me to continue talking about something that's fake. Because to me, 90% of it at this point is absolutely just fake. And this is fascinating. So there's a documentary series on Netflix called Get Gotti. Came out last year. I just watched it because one of the things I did in New York, which we can talk more about later if there's interest, we did a food and mafia tour. So we go down to Little Italy and we learn about the mob from a guy who used to live in the neighborhood. He lived in Little Italy. So this guy his name is Dan, and he has these cool stories, but he's showing.
No, his name's Dan.
His name's Dan.
Dan. There you
exactly.
Go.
But here's crazy, because Dan later became a cop. So he used to like run cash for the mob when he was 6. He would take an envelope of cash from one store to the next, because that's what you did in the neighborhood. And then he became a cop. It's just absolutely crazy. So they talk about like where Gotti was on Mulberry Street, Little Italy, New York, right in front of everybody. And what I love about how this documentary portrays Gotti is how the media built him up into be a star, because they kept covering him and people kept buying newspapers that featured John Gotti. So there's another lesson that the media creates these people.
Sure.
And they're like, why are these people so beloved? Same thing with Trump. They did the exact same thing. Why do people love Trump so much? Because you can't stop talking about him. Same thing. You couldn't stop talking about John Gotti. I don't know why I brought all that up, but it's just fascinating to see how the media works, right? And how it has become at a point where you have a Gotti and you have a Trump, and where we're at now and how the media covers politics. It is just a flat out, it's like a scripted reality show.
Sammy the Bull or Whitey Bulger, I think both still alive.
I think
one might be dead. Okay, so Sammy the Bull. So an interview with him about Trump was fantastic. They're like, we tried to get into Trump all the time. He would basically tell us to kick rocks. He's Donald Trump. He told the mob. The mob tried to take on Trump. Trump was like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then there is funny about that, right? It's somehow Trump managed to do business in New York that way, even though the mob, and they say this in the Get Gotti documentary, they ran everything, every concrete, most of the unions, they had them all. And the greatest part about it is Gotti gave himself up because they wired an apartment where he had all these conversations, and he loved to talk. So he basically explained every single thing that they did as the mafia, and they were able to get this RICO case against him.
He was Trump.
He 100%
loves to talk, just like,
100%. Hey, listen, like I said, I'm sure there's no recording devices around here, okay? So I can say this. This is off the record, everyone, off the record.
It was the same thing.
It was just so funny. I saw the parallels there, and I was like, wow. And just having been in New York and been around that energy and the big buildings and the big swagger, I'm like, this is America right now.
Gosh. Okay, let's talk about that then. Seriously, I hate New York. I hate Manhattan. I don't want to go anywhere. You said you were uptown. I didn't know what the hell that even means. The subway system is militarized now. So why, Robbie? Why do you keep going back to New York City? Why?
It's not as bad as it seems. I didn't.
To me, it is. Been there thrice.
Yeah. Well, and look, you love New York.
I spent a month there one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It probably was a good month too.
No, it was not. It was hell.
Why I love New York, I love human achievement. So I particularly love the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building. especially at night because they light up. They look awesome. But those two buildings were competitive feats built around the same time. So the Chrysler building goes up first. The Chrysler Corporation wants to create this big, tall skyscraper over 1,000 feet. And then the folks that built the Empire State Building, which I think Pierre DuPont was part of that group, was like, all right, let's do it. Let's build a bigger building than the Chrysler Building. It became this massive Empire State Building. So I like to go there and I like to look at human achievement and think about what am I capable of doing? What is Mike Russell capable of a human is doing? You could definitely build an Empire State Building, Mike. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I definitely, here's what I'm capable of doing: staying away from New York City. That's what I'm very capable of doing. That I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm accomplished at this. One of the buildings, I believe it was the Empire State Building. This is what I heard. So you can tell me if you read it and whatever, if you're fascinated by the buildings. The spire, the top was supposed to be a lighter than air travel, like a blimp docking station. Did you hear anything about that?
No.
It was supposed to be, the nose to the tip of that, and there was supposed to be a way to get down into the building and stuff like that, because they thought that, that was going to be the future of travel.
It was around the time where those Zeppelins were flying around Germany. It was like in the 30s, so that would make sense.
Yeah, so that's what. Anyway, I heard.
Yeah,
I
but
heard.
New York,
Yeah.
but I love it's like the whole world's in New York too. It's you can eat crazy foods. I tried a Uyghur restaurant. Uyghur cuisine, the Uyghur Muslims that are part of China. Many of them are locked up in concentration camps.
Right, correct, yeah. Uh-huh.
So tried that.
There's some very inappropriate jokes that I can't even do. I mean, seriously, I did not see. Listen, who had it, by the way? Who had it on their bingo card? Did anyone have Rob was eating Uyghur food in NYC? Did you have that on your card? I did not. I don't. Not even in the I can't even put something on my bonus square here because I feel like it wasn't even in the realm.
Exactly. That's why you do it. And it's really cool. Like Manhattan, number one, pizza. You got to love eating pizza. So we did Midtown, basically. Midtown, a little bit uptown, a little bit of lower Manhattan. That's basically the radius that we stayed in. So let's call it maybe a 7-8 mile radius. We did a bunch of walking. Never saw any crimes. Never saw any migration problems. Never saw any National Guard members. So if you're going to New York, the island of Manhattan is where it's at. But there's also... New York is a city that loves to change, so there's lots of new stuff, new buildings, glass and steel, but there's also these old bars that you can go into. McSorley's is one, Mike, which you would like. You walk in here, it's like being transported back in time. You go into this place, it's been around since 1854, which isn't that old, but it's old for New York. It's old for New York. Like, you got stuff in Boston from the 1700s, a couple things from the 1600s. So, we like to brag a little bit.
Yeah, right, here we go.
New York likes to redo things. There's sawdust on the floor in McSorley's, and they only have 2 drinks, light beer and dark beer. You don't know who makes the beer. Those are your options. They come in an actual glass. It's a small glass, $4. Like, your kind of place.
That is my kind of place. All right. Okay. Now we're going to that. Okay. Yeah. Let's actually talk about your type of place. You love hating on a quarterback in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers being bandied about as a vice presidential candidate or prospect to run with RFK Jr. Now, his only, I would say his only qualifications. By the way, he is wildly more qualified than Kamala Harris. So let's just put it that way. That's where I've set the bar. Kamala Harris, he's more qualified. Aaron Rodgers is a kind of say what you will kind of, I'm going to beat my Achilles injury in half the time, and I'm going to go be in the darkness and eat roots and trip, for a while, and I'm going to be anti-vax. And that's really only his qualifications, but it hasn't stopped the MSNBCs. It hasn't stopped the talking heads from already digging up anything they can about Aaron Rodgers to completely assassinate the man's character. Instead of looking at, it's RK Jr. Okay. He got Aaron Rodgers. This should be interesting. No, it's an immediate attempted character assassination and digging up old crap that is basically the play of the left at this point.
Fear, because the fear of Donald Trump is causing a lot of this action by the left's media. Because, again, they don't recognize they helped create Donald Trump since the 80s. Putting a microphone in his face, a camera in his face, hoping he'll say something crazy that will attract attention. And Trump always delivered. He's still delivering. So the fear of Donald Trump returning to the White House has many in the media not thinking logically. So by going after Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the vice presidential nominee on Robert Kennedy Jr.'s ticket.
Yet still more qualified than Kamala.
I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that.
Appreciate
it. Would be an interesting move by RFK Jr. to do this, because I think there are some who hold out hope that RFK is going to be able to pull it off. RFK could get a decent percentage of the not the electoral vote, of the popular vote. He probably will not win. Yeah, he probably won't win any electoral. It'll be like Ross Perot. He might be able to get 15, 18, 19, 20%. But with the Democrat sphere, I wish it was different. I wish that RFK actually had a chance, because it would make the conversation more interesting. But the Democrats are so afraid that RFK is going to peel some Democrat voters away from Biden and independent voters away from Biden. Trump can win. So they'll slam everybody to try to make him seem like a scumbag, so that you possibly could not think of voting independent in this election, because it might mean Trump wins. We can't have that.
But they're going to assassinate everything they can. I probably shouldn't use that word when I'm talking about a Kennedy.
Metaphorically,
it's a character assess. I mean, tear down. We want that what is it, the file, we want FBI and CIA files on this. If I start talking about that, and the CIA is like, that's our job, that's what we're doing. We're the ones that get to use that word and help out assassinate a president. But I just think it's two things here. Obviously, it's the character assassination. It's the we're going to destroy anything that could help Donald Trump. And then it is the weirdness of people would think, he's going to get some votes. Why would Aaron Rodgers get a vote? We are now announcing, after Kamala Harris. Well, actually, let's say it here. So it was Joe Biden, Pence, and then it's Kamala Harris, and then Aaron Rodgers as a prospect. VP is the most useless, pointless, garbage job there could possibly be. You need no qualifications for it.
Remember, it used to go to the loser. It used to be two presidential candidates. The loser got the vice president's job. Like, that's how insignificant we thought the position was. It's basically a placeholder for continuity, just in case the president dies. I mean, that's the reality of it. The vice president's office has gotten a little bit more complex over the years. Dick Cheney did a lot as vice president that other vice presidents didn't do. Joe Biden probably did a lot more, because there was certain work that Obama didn't want to do that Biden did.
Because he couldn't. It wasn't qualified to do it.
Well, and Obama's too smarmy to go hang out with senators and talk about legislation. Biden loves that crap. So Biden will do that all day.
I've only been doing this for 10 days. Yeah. Now I'm the president. Look at that.
But I give good speeches.
Joe, get to work. Yeah. Let's get back to the Hur Report, actually. As we got some tidbits from it. As Joe Biden quite literally was either, and this is all I can take away, either he is that far along in his decline mentally, or they gave him you need to go in there and act as crazy as possible to get off of this, because the questions and answers are so off the rails. Although Robert Hur, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hur actually pointed out, he said he has a near photographic memory. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting to point out, when he's asked, Mr. Biden, you had documents in your garage in a broken box. I think it was labeled important things. And his answer was this long running on story about how the Secret Service doesn't let him drive anymore. And it really angers him because he can't drive his Corvette. So he would drive it to the end of the driveway and rev it up. The president of the United States started making car noises. Vroom, 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 while he's being interviewed about basically a felony. Vroom, vroom, and then you'd back it back into the garage. Be careful not to hit the top secret documents on your way in or out.
American politics really is a cartoon.
Vroom, vroom.
It's a cartoon. Like, our president is a cartoon character. And sometimes I think our side, I'm like, yo, can we stop acting like it's a cartoon, please? Let's we need some adults in the room to have some adult conversations about some actual challenges that this country faces. And I know that we don't want to hear it. I know America isn't ready to find out the truth because the truth hurts and the truth has to be dealt with. But, we're going to deal with it one way or the other.
So let's stick with a clown theme, shall we? Fani Willis. Fani Willis, this is the absolute bozo. Is there a female bozo? A bozette?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe? Boza. What kind of bozo do you identify as?
Bozo.
The bozo, which is one of her pronouns, Bozo Willis, was actually found to a judge ruled that she could stay on the Trump case as long as she took her Sancho, her little side piece that she appointed to run the entire thing, and kick him off. So now that he's kicked off, she can stay on even after she is a bar member. She is an attorney after perjuring herself, committing perjury on the stand several times. She gets to stay on the Trump case.
This is an opportunity.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's how the Trump team has to look at this, is now they have ways to go after the person charging the former president of the United States. Go back to this Gotti documentary. It's called Get Gotti, if you're just joining us, on Netflix. Came out last year. I just wrapped it up because I went to New York, went on a mafia tour. I'm now super interested in the mafia. So John Gotti, who became the boss in 1985 after he ordered the killing of Castellano, who was running the five families, the Gambino family, but he was the kind of the boss. So Gotti takes him out, becomes the boss, and he goes through all these legal challenges. Also, another interesting comparison to Trump. It took him 4 times to get Gotti.
Teflon Don.
Cases, yes. But
yeah,
in part, it's because Teflon Don hired a lawyer named Bruce Cutler. And Bruce Cutler was an expert at just shredding the prosecution's arguments, little by little, step by step, to create enough doubt. So you don't think Trump has a lawyer that's like Bruce Cutler that's just going to attack and lean? Because all you have to do is put a shred of doubt in it. Now, I mean, there's a big difference that John Gotti paid off a juror in one of the cases, which Sammy the Bull later admitted.
Yeah. Sammy just cleared it up. He's like, I don't care if you know who I did it.
Yeah. I'm not advocating the president do the same thing. However, his attorneys will do the same thing Bruce Cutler did. He'll just needle away, shred away, and tear up this Fani Willis as the DA and say, this case is all garbage. Yeah. Look who brought it.
And Trump doesn't hire on resume. He hires on looks.
I have the hottest legal team in the world. The hottest legal team. Look at my attorney here. What a piece she is, huh?
So that's, but Fani was
looks good on TV.
This absolutely just, I would say, at least in the court of public opinion, this destroys their case. The fact that she gets to stay on after committing perjury several times and saying, I never went to the White House. I don't know what you're talking about. Days before the indictment, she was meeting with Kamala Harris for 5 hours. So this is we'll go back to the optics and the court of public opinion. How is this not a case of taking out your political opponents? Now we can see it plain as day, and the fact that she stays on helps the Trump case.
Let's go back, helps. Mike, to the conversation in Arizona, Sky Harbor Airport, Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch had. Loretta Lynch was the attorney general at the time. Mm-hmm. Hillary Clinton was being investigated. Just so happens that Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton's husband, is there. And they meet on the tarmac, and they told us they talked about their grandkids. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. I like
talking about young ones, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I do. I like to talk about the young ones.
Mm-hmm. But this is how things work at high levels. If you have 10 or 15 minutes with someone, you may say, hey, how's the grandkids? Great. Okay, let's talk about what we're really going to talk about because we only have 10 or 15 minutes. So let's get into this.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. And just like in the mob, because politics works like the mob, they're not going to say anything. And the only two people who know what they talked about are Clinton and Loretta Lynch. So this is the opportunity for America once again to actually do something about it. Question is, will we? Because you're trying to convince people who just don't want to listen, who don't want to hear any of this stuff because of whatever their own personal reasons are. Because I agree with you, Mike. The fact that Willis goes to the White House and meets with the vice president is clearly shady at the
Yeah,
very
100%.
least, because they're not going to hang out and talk about black women in power or whatever. They're going to talk about some real deal stuff.
Oh, are they calling me a black woman now? Okay, I didn't know what day it was. Speaking of the Clintons, actually, we can stay on the Clintons. Thanks for being here. Thanks for playing along, everybody. Greg, it's good to see you. Truman, Eddie, Del, what's up? How you guys doing? Darren, good to hang out. Yes, we did get Rob back. The Clintons, oddly, and I say oddly because it's just now expected, not even part of this conversation while we're sitting and watching Haiti essentially fall, while we're sending SEAL teams to the U.S. Embassy there to basically keep everyone safe. Joe Biden fumbling, stumbling, tumbling again, not pulling Americans that are trapped out of it, not pulling them out. But why? Why is this the in the state? Why is Haiti in the state that it is? After the earthquake, we raised $13 billion. I could buy Haiti for $13 billion. $13 billion. Who was put in charge of the $13 billion? The Clinton Foundation. Literally, the Clintons ran a money laundering scheme. The emails show, what do they call it? It was FOB. If FOB was in the title, that's a friend of Bill. That's a contractor that's a friend of Bill. There is, there was a different one too. It was WJC. WJC was named for William Jefferson Clinton. So those were the things they used in the emails to be like, these guys get the money. These clowns get the money. You give the money to these guys. $13 billion. Nothing happened for Haiti. Nothing got to the right hands. And it was all run by William Jefferson Clinton through the Clinton Foundation. Nobody's talking about that. They're just, oh, Haiti's having a hard time. We had a crime committed right in front of us.
This is where I'm going to criticize just about everybody, because we love the fact that we give money, but we never care where the money actually goes. Same thing happened with Black Lives Matter. So a lot of people in America saw what happened to George Floyd. George Floyd murdered by a police officer in the middle of the street. That police officer was found guilty of murder, which is why I can say that. He's now in jail. Derek Chauvin is his name. And that galvanized the nation, especially as we were in the middle of a pandemic and getting towards the end of Trump's first term. A lot of emotions flying around. And this organization called Black Lives Matter comes out of nowhere. And everybody's like, I like that phrase because Black lives do matter. I'm going to donate some money. And they ended up raising $60 million. But this was an organization that had no idea what to do with $60 million. And they ended up buying houses, one with an airport hangar, an airplane hangar. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We love to feel good about giving. But it's our responsibility then to say, would I give to that organization again? Because you get to say, if you donated to Black Lives Matter or Haiti, oh, I donated. So what? Because the money doesn't go directly to a Haitian person. It runs through the Clinton Foundation, which runs through all these different channels. Same thing with government. I just heard somebody say this the other day, and it was a brilliant point. We love to think that our money, taxpayer money, is funding Ukraine. We're like, yeah, we're funding Ukraine. No, we're not. We're funding defense contractors that make missiles and ammunition to send to Ukraine. We're funding, the money is allocated specifically to companies. It's not allocated to the country of Ukraine.
No,
now, some of it is, right, to pay for first responders and things you don't even want to know we're paying for. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, I mean, have you looked at your stock portfolio lately? So the moon. Why? Because we're at war.
Well,
war's a big business.
Yeah, retirement.
Lots of money. Exactly. It's really all it is. And real people are really dying. And it just seems like, okay, don't worry about it, America. We've got a good economy. We've got a solid economy. Don't worry. That's going to good union jobs, right? That's right. Good union jobs there. And no, people are dying, and we're funding it, and we're doing it to enrich ourselves. Same with the Clintons. The entire Haiti thing was to enrich themselves, and that was probably the closest the Clinton Foundation actually had to private donors, U.S. citizen donors, is taking all the money that we, the people, threw into the Haitian funds, and just everything. You couldn't even go deposit a check at a bank. Would you like to donate to the Haiti Relief Fund or whatever? That all went to the bozo Clintons. And they squandered the money. They turned it into a money laundering organization. And boom, there you go. Because the Clinton Foundation is funded by who? Other nations. When old Hills was the Secretary of State. When Hillary lost the 2016 election, where did the Clinton Foundation go? Bye-bye. Adios. No more money. No more money coming in. It's as shady as the Biden crime syndicate. It's all just I use syndicate because Rob's into the mob now.
That's right.
You're not in the mob. Rob's not in the mob. He was just into
Never
studying
know. I might have met some
mob.
people when I was in New York. I'm just saying. No. But I wish we would recognize collectively, and I wish we would have more conversations about when we say we care. I care about Haiti. I donated $100. Good for you. You donated $100. Do you care about Haiti, or do you care about the fact that you get to tell everybody you donated $100 to Haiti to show that you care, or the fact that you're emotionally impacted by what's happening in Haiti? That doesn't mean anything. What means something is results. So if you donated $100 to Haiti, again, that's awesome. Good for you. And now you look at the results. You look at who's in charge of trying to help Haiti, and you understand that they didn't help Haiti. So
Correct.
if we just look at the facts, you understand that you caring and donating $100 is not enough. And it's that same issue we have in America. Well, I can't care about everything. No, you can't care about everything, but you can get more involved, and you can encourage more conversations like this that were being played all the time for our money. Because as David Schweikert, our good friend and congressman, he always says, it's always about the money.
Yep.
And the more you look at things, whether it's the mob or whether it's the Clinton Foundation, Haiti, Black Lives Matter, it's always about money. It's not about caring. It's not about emotions. It's about
Ukraine.
getting you emotional to give me money so that I can do with it what I want. That's the trick. That's marketing. That's what life is, especially with politics.
We're defending democracy. Donate to Ukraine. We're defending democracy.
Well, I am on the Joe Biden fundraising list. And I got to try to find it. I may have deleted them all because it was obnoxious. They send out 4 to 5 fundraisers a day or a week. Some they do 3 times in like 36 hours. You get a message from Joe. You get a message from Kamal. You get a message from somebody in the staff. It's crazy how they try to raise money, which is why I subscribe, just to see. It should drive my stuff a little crazy.
Yeah, it's not. Nope. I don't even get alerts. I don't even get headline news alerts. Like when I'm ready to consume, I will go to that spot.
Look at you taking control. Yeah.
I know. But I did actually get a text. I don't know how it came through, but the 20 McNuggets for $6. I know. Give me them nuggies. Oh man, let's go. Any kind of diet plan or health, anything that I have going on, be damned for those 20 minutes. I'm taking down 20 nuggets. Mm-hmm. It'll be less than 20 minutes, I swear. I ain't gonna play.
Man.
I'll go. You don't think I'm not grabbing fries. Don't think I'm not grabbing fries when I'm there.
Of course. It's McDonald's.
Dude, hell yeah.
You got to get the nuggets and the fries both fresh, though. Because if those nuggets have been sitting there,
bro.
It's like a half-life. Like
That's why you got to order a small or a medium size French fries from McDonald's, because there's that window that when you're immediately handed to it, it'll put 3 blisters at the top of your mouth because it's so hot. And then 10 minutes later, they're colder than anything that's in my deep freezer right now. So there's that window where you just got to go because they're just, I don't know, they're hot and then they're just cold. Dang McDonald's, I'll tell you that much. So Rob, I don't know if TikTok is a thing, but we have quite the heck of a following on the TikTok. TikTok ban is been approved by the House. Now, Nancy Pelosi says, she said, tic-tac-toe. She said, I am a grandmother of teenagers. There we go. And I know how important TikTok is. This is not a ban. This is essentially a takeover, is what it is.
Hostile takeover.
It's really what it is. So thank the good Lord we have people like Kyrsten Sinema still in the Senate, that hopefully this thing can't get pushed through. It's because in this legislation, it is absolutely it smack you in the face in this legislation. I guess you got to just isolate the actual piece where it essentially gives the government the ability to take over any social media platform where they deem has interfered in the United States electoral process.
This is another example of an illusion they try to sell you. What's beneath the illusion is the reality. So they want you to debate the ban as a ban. They don't want you to know. It's not really a ban. It's just letting someone like maybe Steve Mnuchin, who used to work in the Trump administration, buy it. Or I think I've heard a couple. Activision is a video game company.
Yeah.
They're interested in buying it.
Sure.
So that's why. Why? Because you've got however many millions of American users, including Russell and Hunter. You have all the data that comes with that, which is the true power, which is really that value. That's what this is about. It's always about money. That's it. And yeah, I can make the case that there's some concerns that China can manipulate the algorithm to put Chinese propaganda or anti-American propaganda, because if you go back to October 7th, when Hamas attacked Israel, a lot of the content on TikTok that was pushed forward was pro-Palestinian. It was not pro-Israeli.
Correct.
So that probably was done on purpose by China. It just said, no, we'll just elevate these a little bit, because what would China love? Nothing more. Dissent in America.
Absolutely.
You don't have to fire any shots. You just use propaganda, because propaganda works. It might not work on you. It might not work on Mike. It might work on me, but it works. This is why I think that getting people to be smarter and understand that this is a system of money and emotional manipulation, so that your money, because of your emotions, goes into this system so that they could just continue to screw you over and over and over and over again and take away the things you don't like and make American companies own them, in this case, TikTok's case.
Yeah, but okay, so but understand that piece of the legislation right after deeming or at least publicly announcing that a few tweets by or X posts by Elon Musk has been the equivalent of election interference or meddling in an election. It's not surprising to find the piece of that legislation is if a social media platform is found to be doing so. By the way, Facebook, Meta, whatever, robot Zuckerberg, they have an entire division that embeds staff into campaigns. Their job is to quite literally interfere in campaigns. That's it, in elections. That's their job. They have an entire division to do so, and they do it globally. So yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense. And social media is just not fun anymore. Look at this. I'm going to show you. Look at this. This was a video. You see that video right there? That's Taylor Swift holding up a Trump won banner. She's holding up a Trump one. That's the Taylor Swift. That's T-Swizzle. Down here it says, altered photo and video. The same altered video was reviewed by independent fact checkers. No bleep, you morons. Of course, Taylor Swift is not going to be holding a Trump one banner. Yes, it's photoshopped. It's AI. It's absolutely. I don't need to know this. I don't need to know. Oh, there's a dog driving a car. This has been photoshopped. This has been all independent fact checkers. Where's the forget this. Let's call the independent fact checkers the fun police. They got their fun gun out and they're just blowing fun out of the sky. Can't even have fun anymore and say, "Oh, look, Taylor Swift." Oh, please.
Well, another reason I don't do what we did anymore, because it stopped being fun. It's so serious. It's so, oh my God, America's dying. Great. Cool. I'm still going to live my life, because I still have a life to live. I cannot control what this country does and who we vote for. All I can do is control who I vote for. And I'm going to be flat out honest. I threw my Republican Arizona primary ballot away because there's no point in voting. It's already been decided who the nominee is, so I threw it away. So, I'm like, what's the point? There's literally no point.
I do have one point. That'd be Sheriff Lamb, but that's just me.
That wasn't on. He's on a different ballot.
Oh, okay, got it.
This is only the presidential ballot.
Okay, 10-4, 10-4. Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay,
that's going to be in August. The primary for the Senate seat and all the other races. This was just the presidential. Yeah, I'm just like, there's no.
I'll say who I'm backing right now. I have zero problem with saying who I'm backing right now.
Yeah,
I know the man, love the man, and the guy the man could do some good, and I'm excited about that. And he doesn't. I
talked to his son the other day, who was working on his campaign, so we had a little chat. Just got to meet him through someone else. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I know how Sheriff Lamb has used power and restrained from using power. And that is what my favorite part about him is that he has had this ability, given the police powers that every law enforcement agency has, and he doesn't use them all. That's the kind of guy I like. That's the kind of politician we need, who has a good moral center and knows that he still wants to do it the right way, because ultimately Lamb believes in one thing: the United States and the United States Constitution.
You're right. And if you follow Pinal County Sheriff's on Instagram, it's fantastic. He goes on the high risk warrants that that Rob and I were lucky enough to go on. And we need to get back into that.
Yes, we do.
That's what we need to do. Heck yeah, that's for sure. But I got to tell you something. 16 years you've known me. I've been alive for 48 years. Rob, when have I ever had a massage?
Not once.
Not once. This came up. The reason why I'm bringing this up to Rob is that Rob, before he took off to New York City, I said, well, what were you up to this morning? Like, he came in right before the show started. I'm like, what were you up to? He's like, I was getting a massage. And immediately, as he's totally relaxed, my shoulders start to go up like this. Just the thought of somebody, just someone I don't know, getting in there and getting all the muscles and the knots and whatnot. Nope. Last week was a very stressful week and some things that I'm going through in life. And my woman said, we're getting a massage. And I said, no, we're not. That's going to absolutely make me no. Already booked it. Sorry. Already booked it. Already paid for it. Already paid for it. It's couples massage. I'm like, that even sounds worse. What in the hell is that? And can I tell you, man, there's a lot to unpack from that 70 minutes that I was on that table. That I felt violated in ways. I felt scared in ways. There was a couple times where she just took off. I'm like, where? I started singing down in my little face hole thing, 'cause I'm all alone. I don't know where she went. I no longer see these. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. But anyway, she just took off. She pulled my pants down. And I'm like, whoa, what is no one going to ask me if we're going to do that? Is that just okay?
It's just assumed. You know, do pants in a massage place.
How is that? I didn't have pants on. I had my chonies on.
Oh.
She pulled my chonies down.
Man, it happens sometimes.
No, it does not. Not without my permission. It does not pull my pants down.
Why
what you I took us for?
Did she pull them down or off?
Down.
Okay.
Might as well. We're down there to leave my booty.
Why did she pull them down? What'd she do?
She put a rock right at the top of the crack. And I'm like, no, hot rocks, no hot rocks. What are you doing?
Okay, see, number one, you don't start with a hot rock massage. You start with a regular massage.
I have no idea that there was different massages, Robert. I have no idea.
Yeah, there's some that's just a massage. No hot rocks, none of this stuff. It's just they kind of massage out the knots, like you said. Keep it simple.
No,
get it done.
I had no knots in my butt. I had none, but she had her hands like I don't even know how to picture this. Okay, so fingertips crack side, doing this like it's a hot dog bun, like going down. I'm like, whoa, those fingers do not belong where they are. Nobody touches me there. This is violating.
Well, you got to set
it up. And then she just started tapping like just on my back, and I thought it was part of the massage. So I was just laying there going, no, this really sucks. And then and then she told me to flip over. I'm like, oh. Wait, I'm like, oh, here we go. Can I pull my pants up first? And so pull the pants up. Pull the pants up. Rob knows me very well, so he understands how uncomfortable I am with this whole thing. Like, I was sore the next day, not because of the massage. I was sore because I was so tense.
He had the opposite reaction he was supposed to have getting a massage.
Seriously, I'm like, why do people pay for this? And then she taking the fingers like right, by the kind of waistband line. Now we're on my junk, and we're gonna keep doing this all the way down and down and down. And I'm like, no.
What is that? What is the name of this place? I know.
Yeah,
mine doesn't do. My massage therapist does not do that.
And then at the very end, so I'm just laying there in my chonies. So I gotta actually have my chonies up. She does to, the male form. We don't know. There's one thing and then there's two things. Over the two things, just does one of these. Just a quick little something like she's dusting something off of them or something. And I'm like, why? And then it ended. And I just said, there's so much to unpack here. There's so much to unpack, including because I was holding on to the top of the bed and fear, intense. I was like, just mass of body and woman just like pushed into my head and over my hands. And at times, both sides, she was straddling the back of my hand. I'm like, I should not be touching any person in this spot right now. This is just weird. And how is this acceptable? How do you do this regularly and pay for it?
I don't do that.
What? Okay. So there's like I said, I only had the experience of one. And you know my mantra, I'll try anything twice. I'm going to hook up a resort spa kind of thing and see if that's a better option for me. I didn't like it at all. That was terrible. Massages are just awful.
All right. So we want to know from you guys, have you had an experience like Mike? Because I have not. Now, we do have someone that
you have never had somebody like graze you. I'm sorry, buddy. Hold on. No lie. The whole time she's like this. Okay. Snorting up. I could just smell the lozenges in her mouth, and she's clacking them. I'm like, oh
yeah, this was not a good experience. You definitely have to give another one a shot.
Definitely, it was my first.
Yeah, it'll be way different. Now, again, if you're going in and it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But that experience is not usual. I've had many massages. I've given 1 million ladies 1 million foot massage.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just kidding. I've had a lot of massages, a lot of different places. Not one of them has been like that.
Not one.
We have a buddy who likes the other kind. Like a guy we know likes the other kind. Likes the
kind that gets you're happy at the end.
Yeah, the kind that almost seemed like there was some indications that you might get that if you wanted it.
Yeah, Robert Kraft is like, no, don't do it, dude. Not worth it. Not worth it at all.
A lot of publicity in there. Mm-hmm.
But the friend that Rob speaks of, absolutely, that's the feedback I got. Like, was she trying to get the bonus at the end, or what was that what she was attempting to do? I'm like, I have no idea, because I don't even know how you would even ask that. How you'd be like, so, hey, are we done? Wink, wink, wink. How is that? I don't understand how you even ask. But our friend, he would ask. Our friend loves it. Actually, he wears a shirt that says, I do awkward. He absolutely loves that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I don't even know how that would fit into the zero conversation. Oh, and I was told before it started, okay, no funny jokes and stuff like that, because I'm trying to relax. I'm like, well, obviously you don't know me, because I have a whole comedy routine going on right now with my face buried in this stupid whole thing.
That is the weirdest part. I'm surprised that no one has invented a better way to lay at a massage table, because that thing is always like, it's okay, but you're like, you feel weird, and you're like looking down, and you're like, oh my goodness. You're like 30 minutes in, you're not comfortable anymore.
Not a fan. No.
But
no.
At least it wasn't that. See Truman's comment here. Truman says that his wife had a deep tissue massage, and the guy said, do you like the way I pleasure you? Not really your thing, not really your job. Just get some knots out,
Yeah, can we just cut this short? I'll pay full price. Can we just cut it? I know we're 5 minutes in. I'm good. I feel great. Woo!
You know what? Kudos to you for trying something new. For something that, like, to be able to get to a point at 48, even though you don't like it and it makes you tense, you did it anyways. That right there, regardless of the experience, is worth celebrating, man. That's that's okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I felt that, but the good thing, God, there was a sports bar right next door.
Did you have a beer after?
We fixed that problem. Hell yes. I didn't even know where to start in explaining what just went down. Because she's next to me. She's got her eyes closed. She ain't seen any of this.
Yeah.
The elbow in my spine. Like, I think she came off the top rope and
Nacho man, you.
Yeah. She said, oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this hot rock on your butt.
Make the meat lady go away. Oh my gosh. It was that bad.
That is fantastic. That's great.
And you go to several places and not one experience even like that.
No, I've been to national chains. I've been to resorts. I have a lady that I see now who just kind of has her own operation. So none of that. She doesn't she does give me a little butt massage, which is good. My butt gets a little tense,
no, there's whatever that muscle is at the top of your booty that you hammer that thing. That's fantastic. I get that, but it isn't like you just keep the fingertips where they belong, and they don't belong down there. in the dark forest. They just don't belong down there. It's just not going to happen.
What
Ever
did
again.
the storefront of this place look like?
Oh, it's nice. I mean, it was a place, you know. I mean,
So was it?
I would expect. And how would I know? And
strip mall.
Because that was the first experience of mine. I don't know what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been warned or alarmed by anything because I don't have anything to compare it against.
Yeah, I guess there's certain places that I look at and I'm like, does that place do real massages or the other kind of massages?
Oh, I'm a West Side guy. Dude, I'm a West Side guy. There's plenty of those establishments out here. Let me tell you something. I mean, come on. Everybody knows. You know, like, oh, you go.
Yeah,
Oh, you're going for a massage, are you?
Word travels quickly.
Yeah. Friend of mine said her husband's like, oh, my husband goes like twice a week. I'm like, yeah. Do I have to tell her? I'm not going to volunteer to tell her.
Maybe she knows.
Huh?
Maybe she knows
and doesn't care. She's like, fine.
Whatever.
Someone else.
You're leaving me alone. I don't want to
do. Yeah, exactly. Don't touch me. Oh, Lord. And just days later, I went and got the other half of my leg, my tattoo. And I was more comfortable when the tattoo artist was on the 1 inch wide, foot long plus section that is my shin bone.
Oh, whew. Mike's version of a massage is having a tattoo needle on his shin bone
by a giant man named Will Payne. Yeah, that is more relaxing than having this woman do what she was doing to me in the massage parlor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, Mike's going to be tattooed from neck down simply because that's where he goes to relax.
Our friend Slavo, yeah, he kind of wanted to keep up with me, so he was talking about doing the same thing. But there you go. There you go. So
look at that.
That's a bison on there.
Man, yeah, there we go, right there. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
there it is. About tattoos, that you get one and it becomes somewhat addictive, and then you get more because typically you don't meet people that have one tattoo. You meet people that have 4 tattoos or a big tattoo that took 12 hours to complete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at our total, maybe 11.
Wow.
Not fun.
No.
Not the most fun I've ever had. They just kind of fall into it, kind of fall in the rhythm. You're like, okay. It basically feels like a sunburn being scratched. That's what it feels like.
I have 0. I will stay at 0. There's a few that I like. I like tattoos. I really do. I don't want any.
I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to sleeve my arm, my leg. I've just always wanted to. Just never did. But here we go.
Why not?
And here I am.
Why not?
48 years later. What did our friend Slavo say? He goes, Mike, your midlife crisis looks good on you. I'll take it.
Exactly.
I have no problem with that. I have 0 problem with that. No problem.
Well, and the whole point, I think, is just to keep living. And if you've always wanted to try things and you get to be 45 like I am, 48 like Mike is, you try things. Like mine right now is I'm going to the gym, I'm lifting things. I've never lifted weights consistently in my life, and it's challenging, and I hate it some days, but then I love it when I'm done. But I mostly love it because it's something brand new for me to try and get better at. And I think if you have something in life that you've always wanted to do, and then you do it, regardless of your age, you feel better just about life. You start to man, life is pretty fun.
Dr. Michelle put me on intermittent fasting. I've been doing that. I haven't done that's an interesting step for me.
So what is your window? So intermittent fasting, right? You have a certain window.
6 hour window.
6 hours.
6 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's something I could great. She said, 1 hour is your goal. I'm like, no.
You just stuff your face with calories in one sitting.
Exactly. Well, I'd become bulimic because I'd vomit because I would eat so much junk in 1 hour. It wouldn't even be the point. So in 6 hours. So it's good. So
So how did you make the adjustment? So because normally you just eat, right? We 3 square meals a day is what we practice. Some of us eat breakfast, some of us don't. But the whole idea is to have enough food to sustain your energy throughout the day. So now you're compressing that window. So say you're noon to 6 or 1 to 7.
1 to 7.
Yeah. How has that transition been for you?
It's been easy. It really has. I mean, I really don't think about food in the morning because you know me, I like to cook, and
Mhm.
cooking breakfast is probably the most basic form of cooking you could possibly do. So it just doesn't really interest me. I do love some bacon. Do love some bacon and eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. I mean, some of them have breakfast for lunch. So and it's just
All that.
that's basically what it is. So it wasn't that bad. I just drink a lot of water. Like I haven't eaten today at all. I haven't eaten today at all, and we're almost to 1:00. I haven't.
The
Yeah.
window is about to be open.
Oh, well, I mean, usually it's noon to 6-ish because I don't like to eat too late. But if I got to go 1 to 7, I'll go 1 to 7. If I just eat for a couple, hours a day, it's no big deal. But yeah, if I'm not forcing myself into some tight little tiny window, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mostly do that, but it's just kind of depends. Like I didn't really plan to do it. I just don't really like to eat in the morning. But sometimes I eat too late at night. That's one other chill. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
8:00, and I'm like, I got to eat.
Yeah, I was watching a movie the other day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, should have some popcorn over in the movie." Can't. No,
Nope.
it's like
That's the window.
it's 7:30. The window's gone. The window's closed. It just is what it is. Ricky Stanicki, don't go ahead. It's
Watch
It's
Get
that time.
Gotti instead. Yeah.
yeah. It's a new one, I think, on Netflix or whatever. It's got Zac Efron and John Cena in it. And no.
Hmm.
William H. Macy's in it. I'm like, what did he? Does he have an addiction to something? Is he broke? What is he doing? What is he doing these movies for Netflix? Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. Terrible. Oh my gosh, it was bad. It was like if you ever watched a Disney, parents should come along with this. If you ever watched a Disney kids show, like a live action show, like Jessie and all those, yeah, this was an adult version of that.
Interesting. My challenge with trying to pick things to watch now, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't even look because you go on Netflix and you scroll through the movies and you're like, none of that. All right, go to Amazon. You scroll through the movie. I'm going to go over to Hulu. I'm going to go over to Disney Plus. So it takes me 35 minutes to pick to watch nothing. So it just, they've ruined it. They always ruin things.
Watch the same 30 for 30 that you watched, 50 times. Yeah. So
I did watch the 4 Days in October a couple weeks ago.
Really?
On the Red Sox. It's so good.
I bet you did. So and that's it for me. I've got to watch something because I've been watching all the Dodgers spring training, and now they're taking off to South Korea for the opener, and so they don't play for 5 days. Gotta have something to watch.
Yeah,
it would be coming on in this house. It probably in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how that's going to impact the season because teams that have done this before come back to the United States, and the time difference and playing baseball drags. But I think there's at least a window because they're playing the 20th or something like that.
Yeah, 20th. Yeah,
yeah. 20th. They play 3 games. Do those games count? Is that part of the regular season?
Yeah, it's open. Oh, okay. That's the opener. Yeah.
So it's open in Seoul, South Korea. Then they got to come back. How many days off do they get between?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
not enough. Not as many as needed. Then your whole rhythm of the game is thrown off, and yeah.
But it's about money.
That's all I got. All I got is baseball. I'm done with basketball. NBA, forget about it. NFL's so boring to me right now. So it's all I have is Major League Baseball.
I'm glad you mentioned boring because I've found that many things are just boring. Scrolling through Netflix, boring. Scrolling through Amazon, boring. Reading the news, boring. It's just all gotten very mundane and boring and the same thing over and over and over again. We need some new creativity, new energy, which is exactly why we're here with you. Mike Russell, Rob Hunter, Truman, Eddie, Greg, thanks for saying hi, Dell, because you guys can always comment whenever you want, whatever you think.
Yeah, and that boredom that we hit in this age, buddy, that's why God invented midlife crises. So it's fine.
He did. I just quit my job. I guess what I did.
Yeah, let's do something different because we're just because that's just what we just. First half was in. The second half was gonna be great. Son of a.
But you do look at time differently, right? You get to a point, and that's really the shift for me. My midlife crisis is understanding my time is the most important thing that I have. So spending it in ways that I would like, learning, challenging myself, doing things that I like is much more important.
True. There you go. Buddy.
Like getting massages.
No. It's the dumbest thing ever. I swear. I just anyway. I don't want to relive it. I don't want to relive it. I mean, it's not like I have post-traumatic or anything, but I mean, pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. If I see a massage table, I will probably have some sort of a physical reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Mike? He's in the corner rocking. telling to make the mean lady go away. Yeah.
He looks like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber when he's in the bathroom stall.
Pretty much.
That's what find your happy place.
Yeah, it's exactly. You want to get a massage and you just stay at least. That's social distancing. That's what I want to do, because if you ask me to get a massage, I've got a probably 3.5-inch wings reach here. Yeah. I will slap you.
I'll be at the bar and I'll see you when you're done. Jeez, that's Mike's version of a couple's massage. You go get a massage, I'll be over here.
That's fine. See? I'll sit in the lobby and listen to the music that's going on. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, I hang out. Yeah, it might relax me. They got some incense going. Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
maybe that's the trick. Just sit in a room with the massage atmosphere with no massage.
I like the sports bar idea better. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more your speed.
Yeah,
sure.
Right. Yeah. Amen, brother. All right. Yeah, he's Rob. I'm Mike. This is the Brewmance. This is the Friday Nooner. We're going to see him Monday at 4:00. What do you think? We're going to do this at 4:00. Everybody ready for that? Sure. All right. Monday at 4:00. We're going to make it happen. Yo, keep the comments coming. We'll spout right back at you. And yeah, Truman, I love that story. It's fantastic. All right, y'all. We'll catch you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.